single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my bike build. It's the 1983 GS 1100E. It's over there all covered up, and we're going to be doing some painting. I stripped this all down, basically just acetone, cleaned it up with acetone and 91% alcohol. And yeah, so I stripped it with, what was it, 180 grit. This here I did with a Dremel. And but anyways, I stripped it all down, and then I took a Scotch-Brite pad and cleaned it all up, and then I washed it, of course. And then I washed it with the acetone and then the alcohol, which is a degreaser. This is an old Lockhart from the 90s, and they stopped making these, I think, in the late 90s. But they've been doing these since the early 80s, I believe. Lockhart, I don't know, maybe. But I don't know if you could read that under there, if it gets in the focus. This is the Lockhart that was on oil cooler that was on my bike. It's in real good shape. I had to kind of clean up some of the fins in here. You can kind of see they're kind of bent a little bit. But I'm going to be using this here. It's this metal cast, anodized. And you got to use a base coat first. And then we're going to go over it with the aluminum blue. And then I'm going to clear coat it. So basically what you're supposed to do, you guys probably watch a lot of videos on this stuff, is you're supposed to spray it from 8 to 10 inches away and then just clean sweeps back and forth like this. And so that's what we're going to do, and we'll see how it turns out, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay guys, sorry I got my mask on, but basically this is what it looks like with the two thin coats on it. Supposed to let it dry for 10 minutes. Hopefully you guys can hear me. This stuff stinks. I had to crack my garage door. It's been really windy and cold out here. Trying to get the top. Really windy and cold. You can see it raining out there. It's been like we're supposed to get snow and stuff, and I can't spray this outside obviously because it would just like get yucky. So but anyways, this is how it's turning out. So I got one more coat to put on here, one more thick coat. So we're going to let it dry. You're supposed to do light coats in between 10 minutes, let it dry, and then go from there. But basically, yeah. So I'm going to let this dry for 10 more minutes, and then I'll get back to you. Alright guys, now that I got the proper base coat on here, I'm not going to spray anymore. I'm just going to let it dry. But you can kind of tell here, you see the little divots in there. I don't know what happened there, but I did the light coats on there. It might have just been some contamination that I didn't clean off. But you want to do this in light coats and even coats, because this stuff comes out like a bunch of little metal flakes, and you always want to use your proper ventilation. I've left the garage door open this much, and I'm not spraying a lot. Like I said, it's very little coats, small increments, and in between coats 10-15 minutes. Last base coat was 20 minutes. So you can see, if it gets in the focus here, it turned out pretty good. This is a used Lockhart. You can see the little marks right there from where it was hitting on the hoses, I guess. I don't know what actually that's from, but I wanted to keep this oil cooler. They do sell these, but they're pretty damn expensive if you can find them. And they're a really good oil cooler. When I ran the bike, I idled it for a long time in my garage, and it never got above like 195. So, and it was warm outside. So, but anyways, I'm gonna let this dry for another 20 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna put the aluminum base coat, or the aluminum coat on it, the finish coat. And it's a blue color, so I'm hoping that it turns out. So let's get at it. All right guys, I did the first tack blue on here. Is the first light coat, just a tack coat, like I said, really thin coats, 8 to 10 inches away, 10 minutes drying part. So 10-minute increments. So far so good. Yeah. All right, guys, and this is a second coat. It's turning out pretty good. A lot better than what I thought it would. So we're going to do one more thin coat here in the next 10 minutes on it. And then I'll probably do one thick coat. But it's turning out pretty good, as you can see. Okay, guys, I got a third coat on here. So basically, I'm going to leave it a third coat. The only thing I'm probably going to do is some of the touch-up stuff right over there like that in the corner. I'll go over that. And but I don't want to make it too much thicker. So you can see that it's turned out pretty good. It's turned out better than what I thought it would. I mean, it's a lot better than what it was. It was an anodized black metal, and it was all faded and stuff. So I don't know if you guys remember seeing this sitting on the bike, but basically, I don't want to go any more than that on the coats. So, but yeah, this anodized paint works real good. As you can see, for like little parts like this, for like valve covers and little parts like this, radiators, stuff like that. So, but it's turned out pretty good. Basically what I'm going to do though is, like I said, I'm going to touch it up, the little areas that I've missed. And then I'm going to spray a clear coat on it. And this is all heat resistant. So this should handle the heat on the radiator itself, or the oil cooler. But yeah. So I'm going to let it dry for probably 30 minutes since this was the third coat. And then I'll put a little small thin coat on it, cover up some of the parts that I missed, little areas. And then I'll do a clear coat. Okay, guys, I just finished the touch-up on this. Sorry I sound muffled, but I got my mask on. So we don't want to be inhaling anything to get us high. But yeah, I finished the touch-up on it. The only thing I'm going to do to this is I'm going to put some clear coat on it. I'll probably only put about 2 coats on, a clear coat, and leave it. But I like how it turned out. Turned out pretty good. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys, this is actually the second coat. You can see that it's dark outside. It's taken me a while because I like to take my time on stuff so I can get it right. But this is the first coat of clear, which is a matte clear. I don't want it super shiny. So I figured if I did want it shinier, I've got some shinier clear coat on in there. But anyways, yeah. So maybe the last coat I might spray it a little bit more shinier. So basically, this is what it looks like here. I get you top view here, bottom view. So it's turned out pretty good. You know, it ain't brand new, but it is from the 80s. So, and I wanted to keep that 80s era. So, but anyways, I'm going to spray a second coat on here. And I might do, like I said, the third coat in a satin layer just to give it a little bit more of a glossier shine. So, anyways, hang with me. Okay, guys, you can totally see that this is starting to take shape. Anyways, I think I'll stick with the matte. I don't think that I need any satin on here. So, basically, I mean, there's some little, you can see some little flaws in there, right? Oh, let me get those right in there. You can see them a little bit, but I'm not too concerned about those. But the matte makes it look pretty good. I've got stainless steel lines for these, and I couldn't just find the blue or the silver. I had to go with red because of the way the bends are, the 90s and everything. But Yeah, so I'll probably spray one more coat of clear on here, and that'll do it for this project. I've got a couple of more things that I need to spray like this that are very minute. They're the key lock for the back of the trunk on the fender, the rear fender back there, and I think I have a couple more parts, but they're all like matte black color, so which I have, that will match the paint, the powder coat color. So I have that color. But anyways, I think this turned out really good, man. Honestly, I think it turned out pretty good for being a part that was built in the 80s. So anyways, I'll be right back. Alright guys, this is the final coat, the third and final coat of the matte clear coat that I'm going to be putting on it. So I think this turned out really good. You know, like I said, it ain't brand new, but I mean, it looks a lot better than what it did. It turned out pretty good. I straightened out the fins as much as I possibly could. So, I mean, you look underneath there, you can still see that it says the Lockhart oil cooler. Oh, let me get over here. Lockhart oil cooler. So, I think it turned out pretty good. But, yeah, so I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of a video of what I got going on. I'm going to be doing a lot of painting parts, you know, since it's really cold out here and it's going to snow. And I mean, look at this shit out here. It's just nasty and wet and cold. And yeah, so, but basically that's what I'm going to be doing. So probably for the next couple of weeks. But anyway, I wanted to show you the paint that I used. So I basically used this anodized duplicolor, anodized. You got your base coat. I did strip it down to bare metal, like I said earlier, and I used a 180 grit, and then I used one of those little green pads that you can buy at Walmart or whatever. And then I used the anodized color coat, which it's heat resistance and all that stuff. And then I used the VHT paint because I didn't have the duplicolor, but I don't think it will react too bad to that. It didn't show any kind of bubbling or anything like that. So it's a 250 degrees, and it's a high temp. They're both high temp. They're heat resistant. So anyways, I am hoping that the thing will turn out pretty good. So it looks good, and it's something that I wanted to do, you know, do it yourself, like I've been doing on my bike. But I haven't done any of the paint work. Like I said, fat wallet, guys. But anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna get out of here. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Give me a like. I would really appreciate a big, huge subscribe. I'm not riding. It's cold. Anyways, I might be moving to somewhere south where it's a lot warmer. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Take care, and I appreciate you. Thanks for watching my videos.